Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a kind of hidden blueprint for success. We're going to use a really unique visual story to see how a great idea goes from just a spark in your mind to something real you can actually hold. So, you've had that light bulb moment, right? That brilliant idea that you just know could be something huge. But what's the real journey? I mean, how do you get from that initial spark to a real finished thing? How do you actually get it off the ground? Well, it turns out there's this hidden pattern, a kind of narrative blueprint that almost all successful projects seem to follow. And if we can understand this structure, we can get way better at navigating our own ambitious plans. So let's dive in and see what this thing looks like. Every great journey really does begin with a map. And for our story, that map is drawn up right here in what we're calling the Library of Strategy. This is where the seeds of a great idea are so carefully planted. And here's our main character for this first act, the Page of Pentacles. I want you to think of this energy as like the startup founder in the garage, or the writer staring at that blank page, maybe the architect surrounded by drafts, the visionary, totally ready to build something new. So this first stage, it's all about a very specific kind of ambition. It's the kind that's grounded in actual hard work. It's about burying yourself in the research, really honing your skills, and just keeping your eyes on the prize with an almost obsessive level of focus. And just look at the setting here. The page is completely immersed in research, right? He's hunting for those crucial unseen components that are gonna bring his whole vision to life. The symbolism here is so powerful too. You've got the skull, which represents learning from the wisdom of the past, and then that rising sun, that's the brand new opportunity right there on the horizon. This first stage is such a critical crossroads. If you go down one path, all that hard work leads to amazing energy and real opportunities start to show up. But that other path, well, it's a warning against those all too common traps of procrastination and just not committing. Those are the silent killers of even the most brilliant ideas. So after all that time spent preparing alone, the vision finally starts to crystallize. It becomes about taking that gut feeling, that intuitive wisdom, and connecting it with the modern tools that can actually make it happen. And that, right there, is our cue to move from planning by yourself to building with others. A blueprint is just paper until the builders arrive, right? So Act 2 takes us into the forge of collaboration. Okay, so our visionary architect takes his plans out of that quiet library and brings them right into the workshop. This is the moment the idea finally meets the real world. We're now in the energy of the Three of Pentacles. This is that totally exhilarating moment when theory finally meets practice. It's that first taste of success, and it's not a solo victory. No, this is a shared achievement that's built on teamwork and people who really know what they're doing. And the process itself, it just makes sense. First, you present the blueprint. You gotta get everybody on the same page. Then, you bring all the different skills and talents of the team together. And that synergy, it doesn't just build a project, it builds a real, supportive community. And that creates the solid foundation for everything that's gonna come next. Now, look at the different people here. This perfectly captures the dynamics of a team, doesn't it? You have the builder, who is laser-focused on getting it done. You have the woman, who's holding the big picture, the vision, and making sure everyone stays on track. And then, you have the distracted man. He's that really important reminder that just one unfocused team member can put the entire project at risk. So, the plans have been made, the foundation has been laid, the team has been working in harmony. Now, it's time for the breathtaking result. And here it is, the world. The absolute peak of all that effort. I mean, look at this, a whole kingdom built on an aircraft, just rising above everything. This is the ultimate symbol of a project that hasn't just succeeded, it has created something entirely new. This is it. This is the ultimate feeling of success. It's that moment when all the hard work, all the different pieces, they all finally come together to create something whole, something truly remarkable. The source material had this fantastic phrase for this moment, let it rip. And I just love that because it perfectly captures that feeling of launching your creation out into the world and just watching it take flight on its own. It's that moment you can finally step back and see the incredible thing you've built. But, even here at the very peak of success, there are still challenges. The promise, of course, is fulfillment, community, and the freedom to create all over again. The challenge, though, sometimes it's hard to find that personal sense of closure. It's a bit of a warning that taking shortcuts can lead to delays down the line, and sometimes a nagging feeling of incompletion can stick around, even when the rest of the world sees a massive triumph. So what can we take away from this whole 3-act journey? Because this isn't just a story about some cards, it's a really powerful model for understanding our own creative process.
You start with the solitary focus of the plan, which you then bring to the collaborative energy of the work, to ultimately achieve the world, the successful, total completion of your vision. So there you have it, a pretty simple 3-part blueprint for success. It all kicks off with that deep, solitary preparation, then it moves into collaborative and skillful execution, and it all culminates in a final, integrated success. It's a really powerful pattern for creation. Which, leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What blueprint is your journey following?